What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now, hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Courtney, hello. We are back for another week. It has been a crazy week, to say the least.
It has been a very chaotic week indeed. A lot has happened, and we haven't even gotten the Grammy nominations at the time that we are recording this, which come out on Friday.
Yes.
So it's going to get even more chaotic, girl.
I think it has just been a lot. I was seeing people talk about Halloween, daylight savings, the election, like.
Oh my God, daylight savings.
And thank you. I don't know, this whole week I have just been dragging horribly, like walking through mud, so tired, feel like my words are all jumbled. Like it has just been a lot this week.
I've really been laying down in the bed, and then I realized, ooh, girl, is the seasonal depression kicking in? I had to make sure I was taking my vitamin D, girl. So I've been making sure that I've been like going on my little walks here or there. I definitely make sure I start the day going to the gym because that just gets me together for the whole day. Even though I was late today, even I went this morning.
See, I need to start getting back into that. I actually talked about that on my live this week too, because I've been so bad. I feel like I have just put and this is always what's bad for me. I put exercising on the back burner because I get way too caught up in work, and then I get 3 months into craziness and I'm like, I feel terrible. And it's because I have my walking pad, which has been life-changing, but I do feel like I need to just get up even earlier so I can go to the gym first thing, like what you're doing, because I think I would feel better.
How far away is your gym, Maddison, out of curiosity?
You know, actually, now that I'm in this new place, I really need to, because I don't have a gym in my building anymore, but there's so many cute like workout studios. I just need to start shopping around, basically.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And there's one that's super popular, and I try to keep signing up for a class that works at, you know, they have like a 7 a.m. time that is perfect for me.
Yes.
But clearly it's perfect for everyone who lives in this neighborhood, because that one's always a freaking wait list. And you know, I do
people want to go before work.
Yes, and I don't get my ish together enough to be like, do it before the wait list. So, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll get it going hopefully soon, because I want to make sure I'm in a good stride before the beginning of the year. Because, you know, then January 1 hits and everyone's going to the gym.
I'm like, literally, I'm going to make sure that I stay consistent with my workouts throughout the end of the year so that the first week I can take off, because it becomes like almost impossible to get in the gym. And it's no shade to y'all that will do this and that do set those resolutions and goals for yourself. I just hate being in the gym where there's a lot of people, and that's why I go super early. But so does everyone else that wants to change their life at the top of the year. So I will take that first week off and work out at home.
No, for sure.
Maybe I'll see my trainer twice that week instead. That's what I'll do.
No, for sure. And also, I love how you said no shade to people who do that, because I am literally one of those people that does that. Like, I am someone that's like literally first of the year, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is my
It's a fresh
time.
restart.
I am going to be a consistent girl. And then I do it for like 3 months, and then life gets in the way, and I'm like, oh, whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie.
The trick, Maddison, is to never miss more than 2 workouts back to back.
Okay, that is what I need to do. See, and I'm
You
back
can
to
miss
the
one.
Once I'm like traveling or working, you know, 5 different things, like it just, and that is bad. Talk about putting it in the teapot right at the top of the show. I need to not do that. I always feel like working out is not a priority, and I'm like, girl, it is. You feel better mentally.
Maddison.
You feel better physically, and when I look
endorphins.
Yes. Also, when I look better, I feel better, which I know it should be the opposite. When you feel better, then it is on the outside. But I have a little bit of vanity in me. I cannot tell a lie. So I look better on the outside. I feel better. I will say too, Courtney, you'll be very proud, because when all of the craziness was going on this week, I needed an escape and just some trash reality to watch. And so I picked up Real Housewives of Potomac, and I thought that you would be really happy that
you had never seen it before?
So I saw when it first aired, kind of like same with Atlanta. When it aired on television, I watched it, but I fell off probably somewhere season 4. Like,
Is that before Candace?
before Candace.
She's the best. The way I feel about Candace and Monique on Real Housewives of Potomac, and y'all can feel free to hate me, Bravo fans, I equate that to when Phaedra and Portia joined Atlanta.
Okay.
It just became a completely different show.
Yeah. So I have a lot of catching up to do, obviously. And
It's good this season, too.
yes, and because I finally got Christian into watching Real Housewives, he just started Potomac, so I was like, should I also start a rewatch since like you're starting a rewatch? And again, watching it through a lens where I've lived more life than when I first watched these shows, like now watching Katie on season 1, bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
And you're not even on Twitter, Madison. I mean, she has tweeted like her hoo-ha.
I went and
she's
creeped on
tweeted
her
herself
Instagram.
naked. And
It's
all over the place.
Yes. But just for people who have never watched Real Housewives, just imagine, let me just paint the scene, season 1 for you. This woman, divorced, freshly divorced, okay? 3 kids under the age of 3. 3 babies. A man is dating her. They're living in his townhouse. And she literally is on him every 5 seconds of when he's going to propose. I'm like, this man took in 3 babies under 3. And you. And helped you through a divorce. And your dog. And you're living there. And you just redid his home while he was away for 4 days. And he's paying for it. Like, it is...
I didn't even remember that.
Oh,
like
Courtney,
that, Madison.
the way I did not remember any of this, I literally was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
But great for TV.
Great for TV.
At the time.
Great for TV. But it's full circle because I actually remember when I graduated that I reported when Real Housewives of Potomac was like announced. They were like, oh, we're going to go to a new city and it's called Potomac. And I remember
I was like, what is that?
My first gig in LA was for this outlet called Her Daily. And I did like a video being like, Bravo is going to a new city and it is going to be called Real Housewives of Potomac. And so even now watching it, I'm like, this is crazy. Baby Maddison reported on this and now we're doing a rewatch. So
look at that.
But I thought you would be very approving of my...
Madison, I approve.
My choice.
Potomac is a beautiful franchise.
My
I
choice.
actually, this is a weird thing, and then we can get into the tea, but I have known of Taylor Hale, who is the winner of Big Brother 24, I believe it is, for a while now. And I just decided to sit down and watch her season. I just finished it the other day. Oh, wow, what a great season of Big Brother that was, Madison. That was a great season.
I mean, reality TV now is really good, obviously, but when you go back, some of the old stuff just hits different, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like before social media really was what it is today, it hits different. It hits different.
Yeah,
Which,
I
on
agree.
a side note, is why the new reboot of New York will just never be the same. But
I keep hearing,
that's a
you know,
conversation
Mike said that to me, that the new New York, he said it's borderline unwatchable.
it is because
It's that bad?
They all care so much about how they're perceived and they openly talk about it. So they'll openly be like, what do you want us to say when people ask us this? You're literally, one of the editors catches, and they left it in, one of the newer housewives is on the cast trip and someone tries to kind of like shade her and give her like a little sassy comment and she says nothing back. And Brynn goes, now see, when I say this to you, you need to say this back to me. You need to say something like this back. And she's like, that's just not who I am. And she's like, well, then you're not going to last very long. That aired.
It's not Real
aired.
Housewives.
No. And then they're always like very concerned with things that are said on camera. And they'll say like, you don't say that on camera. Like, why would you say that on camera? They'll talk about how they're going to be edited and they're worried about how the edit's going to come across.
Let me contrast that. Right now on Potomac, present day, we have a new housewife that is from QVC, and I'm very familiar with her because, you know, my mom is a QVC
Yes, I know
girl.
you. Yes.
Shout out to Miss Stacy. Stacy is the newest housewife, and the reason why she is a knockout so far, we're only on like episode 4 or 5 or something like that. She's a knockout to me so far, Madison, because I love watching people on reality TV that don't know that they're on reality TV. This woman, you can see that she is just like very much the newbie surrounded by people that have just like done this forever. And she's just like, well, why are we talking about Karen like that? And Karen, should we really be worried about you? I'm like, Stacey, you're on TV. Of course they want you to believe that Karen is like trying to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Like, and she is just like, I don't understand why as women we would talk like why we would talk about her like this. Like, it is excellent. That level of like unawareness.
Yep.
You have to like immerse yourself in it or else it doesn't always work. So if these women are like constantly worried about how they're going to perceived, they're not going to last.
Yeah,
very
no.
long.
Courtney, you would not like it because I also, you know when you can tell people are acting? And it's like they're always an amped up version of themselves. I would be very curious to know what they're like just talking with one another. Also, too, I think another problem is none of them were really friends before. They were all cast. And then it's very much giving casted, go hang out for 3 months, try to drum something up. And then obviously they had season 1. Obviously more things have happened since season 2. But then once they wrapped season 1, no one really, like they all barely hung out with one another. So it's just, I don't know. I understand why Bravo felt like they needed a refresh, but like, give me Dorinda slurring her words any day of the week on television than a girl being like, I don't know how I'm gonna be edited. Da, 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 da. Like, that's boring to me.
So this is what I'm hearing in 3 different statements and or questions. 1, you may be team give us back the old gals, or perhaps maybe your team, they should have done this as a partial reboot like they're doing with Atlanta, which sidebar, everyone, including Cynthia, is saying like Phaedra completely saved the season and she only filmed for 2 weeks. I don't know what we're about to watch.
Okay,
The third thing is this what's about to happen to Vanderpump Rules when they decide to reboot the show? Are we going to get a whole bunch of people that were friends prior, or are we getting a cast that just happened to work at SUR?
Because New Jersey will also have to do the same thing.
No tree?
They say that
No
they're doing
tree,
a
no
reboot.
me.
I don't necessarily want all of the old women back, but like I think a good mix of young, like a mix of old and new, I think is where the sweet spot is. Because the whole new, that's just not hitting. I think it was okay season 1, but the cracks are showing in season 2.
Before we get into it, last thing, Maddison, do you watch Miami?
No.
Me either, but Sonia Morgan just moved to Florida.
I watched the first couple seasons of Miami. See, really, honestly, going to college messed up my Housewives watching is what I've learned. Because I always started really good. And then like for Potomac, obviously I was out of school, but then I moved. So then it messed, I feel like I fell off a little bit. But no, I don't really. But maybe Sonia, based on what I've seen from Miami, I feel like Sonia would not fit in.
Yeah.
Right? She's too like, ooh, and I feel like
I agree.
let me tell you, there is no one who will get you together faster than a Spanish woman. Hello,
And to
I
think
live
that they
with one.
wanted Wendy Williams on Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
that's insane.
My mother will literally destroy someone with her words.
As she should.
When she needs to. So I feel like Sonia Morgan could not keep up. Respectfully,
not.
Obviously. Live, laugh, love Sonia for sure, but like, no.
Nor babes.
No. Okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and get into the tea. I'm glad that we are going to kick things off with these very important Liam Payne updates, you guys, because we obviously have been wanting to keep you updated on any major things that have been going on, and we finally have some big updates. So number 1, his body has returned back to the UK, which there is no happy updates in these situations, but at least I feel like this is good news that his family can start planning the services. He's home. And I feel like now they can finally kind of start the grieving process and trying to come to terms with what happened, because while he was not home and while they're doing all this investigation and all this going on social media, I think that makes it incredibly hard for his family to even really start their grieving process.
The pictures of his dad being there were heartbreaking to me, because I couldn't imagine as a parent having to fly to some foreign country to retrieve your child's body.
No.
You know?
No. And
sad.
it is, it's still gut wrenching. You know, I've seen some people pop in and be like, I'm not even a One Direction fan, and this still is so heartbreaking. And I think that goes to show humanity is still alive. I know sometimes we don't feel like it is, but whenever you hear of a son, a brother, a friend, a father losing his life at the age of 31 from a fall, someone who, you know, struggled with addiction, those themes hit people regardless of if you were a Liam Payne fan or a One Direction fan. You know, that affects you. It's terrible.
I think for me, I think I'm getting to, I guess, just my point in life overall, where like anybody that passes away that's younger than me, it really like, it affects me more than death did when I was younger, because I realize, or at least I think about, like, so many of my happiest moments have happened after a certain age, and to think about what those young people will miss out on is devastating to me.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I think
even though Liam Payne had it all,
right,
you know, there was still so much for him to accomplish, in my opinion.
I also think that's a good point to bring up, because a lot of times I think people lack empathy for celebrities because they do see them as having it all. You had millions in the bank. You had access to anything you could ever want. Like, what problems do you have? And reminder that they are people too. They're people first. They're humans first. And I think that is such an important thing to bring up, Courtney, because you're right. A lot of people would look at him and be like, no problems. And that doesn't mean you're immune to problems in real life hitting you.
I promise y'all, girl, you and I both know Maddison. I definitely don't have no coin nowhere near nobody's Liam Payne. But I promise y'all that if y'all had a substantial increase in your funds from where you are right now, y'all would have some additional problems. Take it from me. I promise you, whether it's something that is physical or the problem of trying to hold on to it, there are so many problems that you wouldn't even think about in the galaxy that will pop up the second you got a little bit of extra money and the attention that comes with it. You know?
No, completely agree. The other update we have for you, which I will be very interested to see where this goes. So the police have actually now detained 3 people in the investigation into Liam Payne's death. Now, remember, this took place in Argentina, so the justice system is different. They have different charges than we have here in the United States. But 2 of the people who are being detained are hotel employees who the authorities believe may have sold Liam the substances. Then the other person who's being detained, they are claiming is someone who might have been a friend to Liam Payne, someone who presented himself as Liam's manager, and he's actually being charged with abandonment. That's a charge in Argentina because essentially they're saying you knew he was struggling, you didn't help him, you didn't notify anyone that he was struggling, you knew that was happening. And in Argentina, this charge carries possibly 3 to 6 years in prison. So the authorities are not just letting this go. They're not just saying, oh, it was an accident and we're done investigating. They are looking to hold some people responsible for what happened to Liam, which might help his family as well. It's also going to drag this out longer too, because now we're going to have all of this going on as well. But I do understand them wanting to hold people accountable, because obviously people provided these substances that got him into this state that then obviously what happened. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from this, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure the hotel is glad that these people, that at least the friend is being charged, because a lot of negative attention was being brought to the hotel. Well, why didn't the hotel staff call and say this? And why didn't they do this? And why didn't they do that? So like, everybody get a little charge, period. Because this could have been prevented, unfortunately.
1,000,000%. So we'll keep you all updated when any new information comes out. That's all the authorities have released so far, is those 3 people. So of course, we're going to continue sending our prayers and positive vibes and hugs and love to Liam's family, friends, and fans. Courtney, let's go ahead and move on to this kind of crazy story that I am still trying to wrap my head around. Kristen Cavallari and Britney Spears. I don't know if Kristen Cavallari is trolling for attention. I don't know if she just fully is now conspiracy theorist. But anyway, on her podcast, she admitted that Britney Spears reached out to her after she did an episode saying she believed the conspiracy theory that Britney could be a clone.
Oh.
And she claimed that she wound up in a group text with Britney and her manager. They were obviously talking to her, trying to be like, hey, she's not a clone, not okay. She said at first Britney was really like complimentary and sweet towards her. But then whenever Kristen was like, okay, like, you know, sorry, no harm, no foul. Let's meet up when I'm in LA next time. They ghosted her. She has not heard from them since. And so
you thought
now,
you had a friend?
Right. So now Kristen was on her podcast and she's like, they messed with the wrong girl. She knew those texts weren't genuine from the beginning. She knew they were BS. And now, if anything, she thinks that Britney is a clone. And I'm just like,
Kristen, don't get sued behind this.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, girl, never in a million years would I go up on any platform and be like, Britney is blank. I would, first of all.
Have you seen the
allegedly.
TikTok series of the girl that pretends to be Kristen Cavallari in Mean Girls Maddison? Please tell me you have seen it.
I have not.
She does Kristen so... Kristen has literally commented because it's like spot on. Like the girl plays Regina George, sometimes Gretchen, and Hilary Duff,
That is
Kristen Cavallari, and Jay Wow. She does like all these different characters, but the Kristen one is clearly the fan favorite because it's spot on.
Okay,
She needs that
send
girl
me a
on her
link.
podcast. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
It's so funny. She's gonna get sued, and
I know.
I don't want that for her because I love me some Kristen Cavallari. But girl, it's not that deep. It's very clear that they were being cordial so that you would shut the hell up.
Yes.
But the fact that you
1,000,000%.
thought you were about to get lunch with the B Spears, Britney Jean, girl, you better off calling Jamie L, girl, because it's certainly not about Britney. Not about to tour with you in a low rise bikini bottom, girl. You thought no shade.
That's what I thought too. I was like,
You talking trash?
I mean, you can't surely expect that after you were on a podcast being like, I think this girl's a clone, that she's going to meet up with you when you're in LA next. Like, that's crazy. That's just...
They ghosted her. Well, of course they did.
Yeah, because they were like, we're not meeting up with you. This was us lightly threatening you to not say anything along these lines ever again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, we've received those
Kristen.
messages like, hey, we saw what you were saying. Let's meet up. Let's talk. They don't want to talk because they want to be friends. They want to talk because they're like, don't say that about us anymore.
Don't press your luck.
Yeah.
We said,
We said, here's our phone number. Give us a call.
honestly, stop playing around.
Courtney and I said, we could actually enter into an agreement. No. But I just thought that was so interesting. And I'm just like, girl, you cannot believe that the Britney Spears was really going to meet up with you for lunch.
That's
prove
a
she's not
little
clone.
bit delusional. That's a little bit
I
delusional.
mean, Kristen Cavallari, absolute icon, famous girly, but like
Britney?
on the level of Britney, I don't think, you know.
Nor, babes.
No, that's like
she about
me
to get
saying,
that paperwork if she don't.
Literally, I'm about to go get shams with Taylor Swift, which will happen eventually, just maybe not now. But you mark my words, it will. But it's just, girl, we got to sometimes be realistic, you know? Crazy.
Well, at least
So
she got to speak to
Kristen.
Britney.
At least you got to speak to her. You know what? That's one more text with Britney Spears than I have. So Kristen Cavallari, touche.
Right?
Touche, girl. Okay, let's move on and talk about Ariana Grande.
Yes,
because, so she actually did make some really interesting comments this week, and I kind of have mixed feels about it. So she opened up about stepping away from music. She was on Bo and Yang's podcast, Las Culturistas, and she talked about, you know, how in Wicked she was able to reconnect with her musical theater roots. She's using her actual full name in the credits, kind of like a full circle moment for her. But she also shared that she is thinking she wants to shift away from pop music. She said that she's been doing it for the past 10 years. She's not sure she sees herself doing it at the same rate she's been doing it for the next 10. She said she gets so much fulfillment from musical theater. She loves looking for roles that, can kind of have that aspect and let her have her comedic aspect come into play. What do you think about Ari wanting to maybe take a little step away from pop music and lean more into musical theater?
Fine. I think because she's one of our main pop girlies, we forget that at the core of it all, she is a theater kid. I mean, look at who she's dating. If that doesn't scream, I'm a theater kid, I don't know what does. The gays and the girls will be fine. We have lots of hits. And you know what it is, Maddison? We have to consider the fact that, like, Ariana Grande has kind of given us a lot, especially when she didn't have to. I think about, like, the amount of time that I personally would have taken away after Mac Miller passed away. And instead, she really said full speed ahead and dropped them 2 little albums and still kept it going. And at what point does she do exactly what she wants to do? It's almost kind of like Selena. I mean, you can't compare the music careers, but, like, Selena is like, you know what? Rare is cute, but it's not fulfilling me. Ariana is like, well, first of all, y'all played in my face about positions, and I'm not letting it go.
I was just about to bring that up.
Y'all can have this and goodbye.
During the same interview, she said, I had so much planned around positions, and nobody liked it, so I couldn't even do anything with it. But now she said people love it, and so now she said it doesn't even feel like her album. Like, it's everyone else's. Because now...
Yeah, because we done leaked all the music because you played in our face after we played in hers. But, I support whatever Ariana Grande wants to do in terms of her career and entertainment. I like her as an actress. So why not? I want to see her more in movies. Like, Charlie XCX is, like, leaving music to go and do movies. Like, I don't mind Ariana doing the same. Yeah, Charlie was like, I'm over it.
I do feel like this progression makes sense for Ariana Grande. It's something that she's passionate about, but I think really a large crux of it all that she probably is not fully admitting is the Ethan Slater component. I think the fact that they're dating, she is in a happy relationship. She is very, very happy with Mr. SpongeBob SquarePants. And obviously his bread and butter is, Broadway as well. So I think it would make the most sense for this where she's at in her life. If this is where she leans into, they can be in New York. It's probably easier for him and his situation with his ex. She can kind of be wherever and also be fulfilled and do something different. And I think it's just, we also have to acknowledge that these people are getting older. You know what I mean? Like, these pop girlies are aging. And once you do kind of get older, you start to look at life a little bit differently. Whereas, like, yeah, I was pumping out albums like absolute crazy. Now I'm in a relationship that I'm really happy in. He's in New York. I could be in New York. I don't even have to pump out albums to be famous because I can just go and do a couple Broadway shows. Like, I get it. And if that's what she wants, go off,
And Maddison, who's to say? It's not like she's saying she's not going to put out no album ever again. We can look at someone like and not to say everybody is like her, but we can look at someone like a Beyonce that has a whole girl. She got children, and she puts out an album kind of like whenever she feel like it, and then go on her little worldwide tour whenever she feel like it, and then we don't hear from her ass for 5 years. Like, Ariana could literally do the same thing. I do want to say this. Your little behind bet not leave music without giving us that Eternal Sunshine tour. Now, my coins have been tucked away. I need to hear Bye where she says my name from the front row. I'm not playing around. She could do whatever she wants with her career after we get that tour. I don't care what she does after, as long as it's putting a smile on her face, but she needs to put a smile on mine first because she's got my coin.
I love that for you. She will not be getting my coin for tour, but I want that for you.
Madison, what do you mean?
I am not, I'm not.
She grabbed her stuff, Courtney, like just pulled up in the driveway. It's time.
I like Just Like Magic. That is my manifesting song.
Girl, not this. I didn't realize you hated Ariana's discography.
No. I don't hate it. I'm just not as obsessed as everyone else.
Arianators, get her!
It's like just not my like. I would rather take my tucked away coins and go see Taylor Swift in Canada. You know, like that's just
Fair.
me personally, or just someone else. But like, I love that for you. I want you to go see Ariana.
I can see Ariana by myself in the front row.
And I literally will be watching on Instagram, thrilled. I will be so excited.
You're gonna be like, nah, he actually spent that
I'm
coin.
like, I will be watching Real Housewives of Potomac while you're there, and I will be so happy for you.
Ariana, please give us the damn tour. Please make the tickets affordable.
Please, Courtney needs it. Courtney needs it, and I will not stand without it. So please. Which, honestly, you did bring up Selena, and I feel like, can we just talk about this, and then we'll get into putting it in the teapot?
Yes, ma'am.
So, did you see Selena clapped back because people were body shaming her again?
Wait, what was they saying?
Okay, so she went to an Amelia Perez event. She was wearing like this tight black dress. It was windy. She had a couple shots, like photos, not shots, of her hand like near her stomach. You know where people, if anyone's looking a little bloated and has their hand near their stomach, where does the internet go? Although Selena has literally said in interviews, I cannot carry a child because of my health issues. But you know how the internet is. So they started making comments about her weight, blah, 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 blah. She saw the comments. She responded to a TikTok and was like, I suffer, I think it's SIBO. I suffer from this disease in my small intestine. I was having a flare up. It makes me feel bloated. I'm not a stick figure anymore. I accept my body for what it is. I'm not playing a victim. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Respect. You know what I mean? It's annoying. How many times do you guys, not you guys community, but how many times does the internet have to point out Selena looks different from the last time we saw her publicly? Like, do y'all not think she knows when she's having a flare up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
that's what's
just
annoying
insensitive.
to me. Annoying. But, okay, clapped back. It was great. Then Flavor Flav tweeted Courtney in support of her. And I live for it. So he tweeted out and he said, I don't know her personally, but Selena Gomez is one of the strongest and most beautiful people inside and out. I applaud her for being so open about her health and mental health. And I applaud her even more for clapping back at the haters, but she shouldn't have to.
I know that's right.
We live, laugh, love Flavor Flav.
Maddison, I hope that when I am Flavor Flav's age, that I am as happy and as fulfilled and as joyful as he is, or at least comes across, because it seems as though, like, ever since he found his sobriety, I think it might have been like 4 or 5 years ago, he just has like found this joy, and I like to see him stand up for peers within the entertainment community, because I mean, people can be mean. And these are things that, like, she can't help. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you wouldn't like it if someone were saying those things about your family member, your aunt, your sister, your mom. So, like, why do you twist your fingers to type, like, mean comments or say awful things about Selena Gomez as if she's not a human just like you or me?
1,000,000%. I also think, too, Flavor Flav has found, I guess, a knack for sticking up for women who are constantly targets, which I also respect. Like, he's a Swiftie, which we love, because obviously he sees all of the ish that Taylor's constantly getting. And now for Selena, I mean, you know, Selena literally goes at you and people are mad. You know what I mean?
Literally,
it's like, oh my God, she walked with her left foot in front of her right. She should have done right in front of left. Like, how dare Selena Gomez? And it's so crazy to me. And sometimes I think, like, am I seeing, is this just my feed that I see this much hate for her that is so ridiculous? But if the fact that someone like Flavor Flav can be like, the hate towards Selena is out of hand, tells me, no, it's just sick and twisted people online who need to get a life. Like, truthfully. It's crazy.
Exactly what you said. Like, she could sneeze and, like, people are making up a story about her or saying something mean about her. And it's nice to have, like, a man, especially, like you said, like, stand up and be like, hey, like, lay off of her.
Especially because
it's unfortunate.
she does always get that victim label, and I don't know why. It's so crazy to me that people can harp on someone and be so brutal to somebody for so long, constantly, and then as soon as they start clapping back, you say they're the victim. It's like,
if you just leave people alone, you wouldn't even have to have this discussion right now.
the math ain't mathing, people. It is just not, it's not equating. The critical thinking is lacking for a lot of people, you know?
In many areas.
It's just like, it's crazy to me. I don't understand really even having the balls to go up and say type some of these things that people type to Selena Gomez, or going up to a celebrity and saying something horrible, throwing things at concerts. When did we become so emboldened to do these things to people just because they're celebrities? Like,
since social media invented doing awful stuff for attention. A lot of those people want to be caught. They want to be identified. They want their stupid little names to be in a news article linked to some mess. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame that, like, you could go viral for, like, doing something good back in the day and go on Ellen. Now it's like people are just going to do, like, whatever, good or bad, as long as it gets some sort of attention. Like, completely unrelated to our niche. But, like, there's a young man on YouTube Live right now as we speak, and he purposely has put himself in solitary confinement with the light out, and he's trying to, like, do this for a month straight, and he's literally eating the drywall as we speak, as we record right now. And it's like, at what point, like, do we look at ourselves and say, like, wow, clout really is, like,
that's crazy. And are people
yeah, I just saw that this morning. Oh, girl, they're not just, get this. So, like, they paying, right, like $10. No, $20. They'll put him in a straitjacket for, like, a certain amount of time. $10 to tape his mouth shut for a certain amount of time. It's like little tiers of things. So, like, you know how we do, like, the super chats on, like, our lives? People will super chat, and then, like, I guess a friend or whoever's watching a live stream come in and tape his mouth shut, or, like, put him in a straitjacket for an hour, or, like, whatever. And he's like,
that is... This is why I'm worried about the future.
Yeah. Because this is, like, someone that's, like, my little brother's age. And I'm like I'm glad my brother just, like, watches stuff and doesn't participate, because, like, that's really dumb to me.
College is still important. Go, like, I don't know, like, that should be the trajectory still. I'm like, that is crazy. I'm telling you, I have been hard up. I have been financially stressed. I have been strapped, but never once did I...
You're not going to eat no drywall, girl?
Could you imagine? I would literally go on fans only before I do that. I think that the moment, Courtney, when I call you and say, Courtney,
feet out.
I did something bad. When you get that call, that is
stupid.
That's how you know that would be my, like, rock bottom SOS.
Maddison.
Eating drywall. Like, are you stop? Also, whoever is paying $20 for this kid to eat drywall, please stop.
In the dark.
They
got the night vision camera set up like the circle. And he's like, and it looked like he in, like, a broom closet. Solitary.
I hate that.
I'm going to send it to you right after this live, and along with Kristen Cavallari and Mean Girls.
But I will not be giving this kid a dime, but I will watch for 30 seconds just so I can see. That is literally nuts. Wait, no.
Please take breaks from the internet this weekend, you guys.
Watch some trash reality TV. Literally
Beauty and
anything.
Black, Tyler Perry on Netflix.
Oh, yes. I saw. I need to watch that.
So good. It's a mess.
I would love it.
It's a good gay mess.
That is just insane. Insane.
Yeah.
Which brings us to putting it in the teapot.
Put it in the teapot!
Put it in the teapot, you guys. If you want to submit your Put It in the Teapot submissions, make sure to email us at toastedteapot@gmail.com. It can be personal. It can be celebrity related. We just love hearing from you. And we have a community submission this week, which is my favorite, from Brittany Kelly. Okay. Her Put It in the Teapot said, put it in the teapot. I know around the holiday season, everything seems to get harder and life seems to kick you in the teeth more often when we are already down. But just remember, if you wasn't strong, life wouldn't kick you when you're down. It is trying to stop you from getting back up. That is the freaking tea. What is meant to be will all work out in the end. And I hope both of you guys had an amazing Halloween. Thank you, Brittany.
I did. Thank you, Brittany.
I appreciate you, but you are so right. Especially around this time, it can feel heavy. Life can really feel like a lot, but you're right. We are strong. We are resilient. And whether you're spiritual or not, I am, but God does not give us things we can't handle, y'all.
I was just thinking that, Maddison.
Like,
get out of my head.
truthfully, he really doesn't. And that is even something I've worked on this whole year. Whenever I am faced in a situation, I'm like, what is the lesson I'm supposed to be learning here? Because God is clearly trying to teach me something for that next chapter where life is going to be crazy and amazing. And he wants to make sure I learn the lessons right now. Courtney, I've been running around like crazy, and I think that's my lesson right now that I'm supposed to learn. I think right now I'm supposed to be learning how to juggle so many things because I'm going to have even bigger things to juggle next year.
Yeah, girl.
So God's like, learn how to juggle these little things that are minuscule because you're going to have a lot of bigger things to juggle. So just, Brittany, that is such a good reminder, and thank you so much for putting that in the teapot.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Brittany. I think that sometimes we lose sight when we are in the middle of our mess. But it is important, like Maddison said, to constantly be thinking, what is this trying to teach us? Sometimes we ask for things from the universe and we get them and we don't know what to do with them. But, we gonna figure it out. We just gotta take a moment to pause, reflect, strategize, and execute. You already know how I get down. But Brittany, that was profound. Thank you.
I absolutely loved it. You guys, please, please, please send in your submissions. You can send it to our email at toastedteapot@gmail.com or comment below on YouTube, DM us on Instagram, TikTok. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for another fun week. You can follow me at I am Maddison Hill on Instagram and TikTok, and Maddison Hill 93 on Snapchat.
And you can find me at Courtney Revolution on Instagram and at Court Revolution on TikTok and Twitter and Snapchat as well. And Courtney Revolution here on YouTube.
Ha! Yes, you guys, we love you so much, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.